One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper, and you know, eBay selling isn't always about finding sports cards and garage sales, even if that's exactly what you do. Sometimes you need to stop what you're doing, break it up, and do something else. One thing pretty much everybody needs to be doing right now is fixing their business policies for the change to ground advantage. If you're not using business policies, this is the exact time to start using them. You should just look at my last video about that, but basically you just want to change all your items to standard shipping instead of first class, and you want to do it in bulk. That particular thing, if you're watching this video past the first part of July of 2023, that is a relic of time, and you don't need to worry about doing that. Right? Sometimes on eBay, your niche is going to become temporarily bad. I loved selling trading cards right until they started getting bad. Trading cards and collectibles, for example, they can be very connected to the condition of the overall economy, and they will boom when the economy is great, especially when the government is sending out checks. That's when trading cards and collectibles go nuts, because lower income people and younger people who aren't used to having extra money will get that stuff and let it burn a hole in their pocket, and they'll want to spend it immediately. So I've decided I only will list or source trading cards when the economy is booming or if there's free government money going out. The rest of the time, I'm not going to bother. I'm currently working on actually sunsetting or reducing my card store to just being cards, just for that. I sold 3 Death Pile Monsters, all viewer sales. First, left a message. Hello, I'm a viewer on YouTube and a reseller on eBay. I enjoy your channel. If you buy your packing supplies on eBay, check out the YouTube video by F Trade Treasures where they measured the rolls of bubble wrap from different sellers, and they continued on for a long time. I don't need to read all of it, but yes, check out that bubble wrap linked video. And this is from, I think it's pronounced Michael. They wrote M-Y-K-L. Sold another Death Pile Monster to Mike. He didn't leave a note. He has nothing in his store yet, so Mike, let's get some stuff in that store. Maybe this will convince you to do it. Shanna also bought one. No note, but she does have a great looking video game store. There'll be a link to that store and to Michael's store down below, so you can be sure to check those out. Sometimes you actually just need to turn the sourcing off. And actually, I think that's going to be the majority of you. If you've got yourself a Death Pile Monster or just a Death Pile with no monster on top, maybe you just need to stop sourcing entirely for a while. I know, even with my own disabilities, you know, going around with the artificial leg, being in pain with every step, and only being able to take a couple of 100 steps a day, really, I can still find items faster than I can sell them. And that's me. I bet you able-bodied people can find items much faster than I can find them, and much faster than you can sell them. And if that stuff is just building up and clogging building up, and you're not listing it as fast as you're buying it, then you're certainly not selling it as fast as you're listing it. You're just making your business harder and worse. Ideally, you know, you probably don't need a huge backlogs supply. And if it's getting to the point where you are ever having to move, you know, you're blocking areas of your floor where you'd be walking or rolling, in my case, with Death Pile, that is a time to stop sourcing entirely. And I basically haven't sourced in a couple of months now, with a few exceptions. Sometimes stuff comes to me. Yesterday, this huge tub of records came to me, along with a couple of other things. I had 2 of my buddies show up at once with this stuff. John brought me some board game parts from the bins and those sparring stuff, and Jake brought me about 120 records there. That stuff I can't really turn down, so I just go ahead and take it. But I am not looking for nothing on my own at all right now. I sold this 1994 Barbie Jeep 4x4, $9.99 plus shipping. I believe that was a Goodwill Bins pickup, so I probably had about $2 into it. Not the best flip, but I like selling things like that, and I'm in a position where in my life right now where I don't have to maximize my profits. I like to maximize my return on my time to some rate, but I no longer need to make a certain amount of money every day. It's mostly not because I'm rich, it's just because I tried to be smart with the money I have made, and I have not increased my lifestyle to match the increase in earnings I've had from eBay or from YouTube. Not that the YouTube is big yet. Although the YouTube now, I do make more per month on YouTube now than I did per week at my part-time job at the hobby shop, which was my last paycheck job. Let's see what else. I sold a padded flat rate envelope full of wooden stamps for, what was it? $16.20. I sold the schematics to a Star Rocket arcade game from 1959. Yes, they had arcade games before they had video games. They had pinball machines, but in addition to pinball machines, they had all sorts of other things that were shaped like arcade games. You know, you might fly a physical helicopter around in it. This one was a ball popper thing where you tried to get a tic-tac-toe or something. This was inside a Star Rocket machine that I bought back in the 90s, was never able to repair, and I guess when I got rid of the machine, this had separated from it, so I ended up putting it up for sale now, and now somebody else is getting it. Hopefully they can use it to fix their machine, because I don't think I've ever seen a working Star Rocket machine. I certainly never got mine fixed. It was past my capabilities at the time. I could probably repair one these days. Oh, look at me dropping stuff on the floor. Can actually repair most things in an arcade game these days. If I still had two legs, I'd probably have an arcade channel and not a YouTube channel. I sold 3 sets of Warhammer sprues for $38 total to 2 customers. Remember, this was the stuff I was going to throw in the trash or keep for some weird personal use. $1,200 in sales and counting from that bag of what looked like junk. Sometimes what could be more important than doing your regular day-to-day is clearing out old inventory, consolidating your storage setups. I like to keep my storage setups, I like to use banker boxes and 27-gallon totes, bins. That way when one of those 27 gallons starts to get low, I can pour an entire banker box in there, and then I can simply, go search for my items that use that custom SKU. You want to be using a SKU system for your locations. I know some people say they somehow don't do it, but I don't know how they do it. And usually the same people who do eBay on their phone, the same people who don't do custom SKU systems. But you look up that custom SKU, say, oh, I just dumped box number 23 into tub B. Just dump it in there, change everything that has location 23 to location B. Now you have a nice empty box ready to fill back up again. It's really that easy. Currently just activated a huge sale on my larger original account. I've taken almost everything over $10 out of that store because I'm trying to both have that store become all cards, and I just need to shrink the store. So I've got $20 off orders over $60 with only a few items are accepted. I'm specifically trying to clear out low dollar items in bulk. I expect to actually get not one sale off this because I found that most of these any eBay promotion that doesn't involve just directly changing the price seems to have very little effect for me, and I would not be surprised if I didn't get a single sale from this. I sold Santana Abraxas, $9.99. JJ Kale, $8.99. Pure Prairie League, $4.99. Best of the Doobie Brothers, $4.75. Sometimes you might just need to take a day off the regular business grind just to clean things up. Some people keep their area spotless all of the time, and others don't. I'm not one of the spotless all the time people. Things get messy, junk gets everywhere. Sometimes you need to take off, get rid of the messy stuff, get rid of the junk, throw away things that aren't involved, that are in your work area, that are not involved in making you money. Get rid of them. They don't need to be there. They're just clogging down your business, and doing that could be more important than sourcing more items. I sold this huge case of mixed dice. It's all 6-sided dice and 12-sided dice. Very weird combination to have, but it sold fairly quickly, $17.99. I sold a wooden stamp with flowers on it. Wooden stamps are bad. $4.49. Sold a Ninja Turtle game for the Wii. $5.39. Once again, I think video games just keep getting worse. Like the Ninja Turtle game for the NES, I bet, is $20, and it's horrible. And I'm sure this game is wonderful, and it's $5. And that's the wrong thing. I sold this Disneyland Paris Mickey Mouse Chef, $13.99. Goodwill bins item, so it probably cost me about $1. Another thing, if you have a family or you're in a relationship and you're a full-time eBay seller, you're usually the one who ends up doing all of the appointments, everything outside of the normal you end up doing because you have the more flexible schedule. I know it's that way in my family. Every appointment is my thing to do. I'm the one who picks up the kid to day camp, drops her off at day camp. Any extra thing to do, it is always on me. And speaking of, my poor daughter, yesterday, she had a one-day Lego robotics camp. And somehow at Lego robotics camp, the poor girl managed to break her right foot. Yes, I don't know how she did it either. But she went to urgent care, she got the thing on it now, and then we came back from that a little bit late, and so we decided to stop at the convenience store down the road that's got a nice food counter at the back. And go in there, and they recognized us, and I've got the artificial leg, and now my daughter has the big plasticky cast on the same leg, and they're like, "Oh, poor girl, what happened to you?" And now she's got camp next week, and I don't know if she can cancel it or not. They haven't returned my phone call on that. Sold Journey Evolutions CD for $4.49. Most CDs aren't worth selling by themselves, but if they hit $3 or $4, I will. Otherwise, I lot them by artist or genre. And I sold the Zombies, Time of the Zombies. This is the band that has the Time of the Season one, the Everything Turn, Turn, Turn song on it. $22.49. Sometimes the best thing you could do with your time is to go back and fix those old listings. I use a regular markdown schedule to kind of do it on a semi-automated way. Depending on the size of your store, you might want to do something different, but the things you should probably be most vigilant about is making sure that your fast sell-through items or your higher dollar items are priced correctly, because you can have the fastest sell-through item in the world, but if the market price for it dips a couple of bucks and it's an item that's constantly in and out on eBay, you being $2 too high could be the difference between selling it tomorrow or never selling it. Or if it's a very slow selling item and there's a few available and maybe it's very valuable but it doesn't sell very often, you could find that everybody else has dipped under your price and that you're not going to be the person to get the next sale. And you want to be the person to get next sale on a slow sell-through item unless you have unlimited storage space. I know there's some people who are like, "Oh, but the collectors, they are so condition sensitive." Do you really want to bet your business or that income on the fact that the one customer that comes along for that rare book per year is condition sensitive, where they'll pay $20 more? Or will you just want to get the sale regardless and not hold on to that book until you die? Because I had a long conversation with the bookseller about that sort of thing. He's very, very adamant that his collectors are condition sensitive about their books, and maybe they are, but I would rather get the sale when the book only sells once a year and not wait for the customer who is both the unicorn who wants that book and is also condition sensitive. All right, I think that's about all I've got for today. Tell them to like and subscribe. Oh, UO says you should like, subscribe. I think I'm going to turn on channel membership soon, so check it out if you want to. If you don't check it out. It's fine with me. Get a Death Pile Monster. And UO says check out the Death Pile Monsters. They're in the 1 Foot Flipper store. And that's all I got for today. Thanks a lot.